Okay, so for today, we will be discussing the next part of publishing a research, and that is yung second half, which is yung results and discussion. So during the prelim, no, you were able to finish, okay, yung writing of the introduction and methodology, no? Uh, if you will recall, no, the required format that we will be using for publication is the IMRaD format. And the IMRaD format stands for Introduction, Methodology, Results, and Discussion. So again, we were finished already with the introduction and methodology. And for this meeting, we will have results and discussion. So first with results, no? Results basically presents, no, what you found out in your research, no? Okay, that's why it answered the question, what did you find? So in this section, you present your findings. Now, in your chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no? In your chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your thesis, okay? The results of the study is found in chapter 4, no? In the form of table, di ba? So that is where you present your findings. So basically, no, you will summarize or you will translate your chapter 4 here in the section or results section of your IMRaD. In this section, you present your findings in the form of tables also. O, nasa table din. Ha? Okay? So typically, in research or in the IMRaD format, the results section contain only the findings. So nandun lang basta yung findings mo, yung mga tables mo, ha? And not any explanation or commentary on the findings. Because, no? Explanation and commentary will be done in the discussion section. Okay? Now, so aside from that, the results section are usually written in the past tense because, no, you already did your research. Tapos na yung research eh. Ha? And make sure all the tables and figures are labeled and numbered separately. Iba, pero dito hindi naman kayo mahihirapan because in your research, no, uh, in your IMRaD format, no, you will not be presenting you any figure. Oh, wala na yung theoretical framework na figure, wala na rin yung operational framework na figure. Okay? So, ang lalabas na lang dito are all of your tables in chapter 4. Ha? So, therefore, no, hindi na kayo mahihirapan regarding numbering of the figures. Puro tables ang lalabas. Now, although if in your IMRaD format, no, you will be presenting both tables and figures, make sure that the captions, okay, for the table are located above the table and the caption for the figures is located below the figures. Take a look at this example. In this example, okay, no? Yung kanilang table 1 is located the caption or the title of the table is located above the table, no? Okay? While in their figures, the title and the caption of the figure is located below the figure. Ganun din dito. In table 2, the caption and title of the table is located above. No? Table 2 and table 3. Same with table 4. Okay? Again, yung mga figure nasa baba. Ang title and caption. Okay? So again, in the result, no, wala pang explanation or commentary regarding the findings, no? You just simply present, no, and interpret, no, the table. Okay? So that would be seen in the result section. Now, so kaya hindi kailangang i-explain, no? And to comment on your findings because the explanation and commentary to your findings will be done in the discussion section. So the discussion section answers the question, what does it mean? No? Sa results, what did you find? In the discussion section, what does it mean? Okay? So in this section, you summarize your main findings, you comment on those findings, and connect them to other research. So in the discussion section, it is essential that you mention also the findings of the authors who previously did the same research. Okay? Yung kapareho mong research, anong findings nila doon, and you compare. Ah, oh, if you have the same result, oh, 'di ba? We usually write it as, no, this finding, no, affirms the finding of, for example, no, Santos et al, yung author ng previous research. 'Di ba? Ngayon, no, if you have an opposite finding or different finding from the previous findings of the previous authors, you will also have to comment on that. Why do you think you had a different finding? Ah, okay? Now, you also discussed the limitations of the study here in your discussion. And you may use these limitations, no, as reasons to suggest additional and future research. Okay? If the discussion section is not followed by a separate conclusion section, then the discussion will include elements of a conclusion as well. Now, in the format that we will be doing, IMRaD format lang tayo, we will not have a separate conclusion section. So therefore, in your discussion section, you will have to summarize your conclusions here. No, nasaan ba yung conclusions nyo sa chapter 1 to 5? It's in your chapter 5, di ba? Okay? Summary of findings, ha? Conclusion and recommendation. Di ba yun ang title lang in yung chapter 5? No. So here, at the end of your discussion, you will have to summarize your conclusion. Not necessarily na naka-itemize. Kasi di ba in your chapter 1 to 5 format, your conclusions are enumerated, no, and itemized. You will have to summarize that in paragraph form. Okay? So, ganoon kapag ka discussion. Okay. So, depending on the discipline or journal and the nature of the study, the results, discussion, and even the conclusion sections can be organized in varying ways. So there are three options, no, by which you can organize yung discussion, no, section. The first option is result in discussion in separate sections with conclusion moves included in the discussion section. Ito yung ifa-follow natin. You have results as a separate section, discussion as a separate section, tapos kasama na rin doon yung conclusion under the discussion section. Again, the option 1, this is the one that we are going to follow. Now, option 2, you have results and discussion combined, and then you have a separate section for conclusion. And then the option 3, you have separate sections for results, discussions, and conclusion. Again, we will follow the option 1 for our publication. Okay, now here are some of the moves that you may follow, no, in writing the results and discussion section of your research. Okay, now, so the first move is making reference to aims and purposes and procedure of your research. Oh, di ba? That's how you introduce or you start with your results, di ba? So, for example, if the main purpose of your research is to investigate the effectiveness of this and the effectiveness of that, it is usually written in your title, di ba? Or to determine, no? The reliability of this or the reliability of that. Again, it's written in your title, no? You will have to write that on the first part of your results and discussion. Okay? Now, another move is making reference to data or statistics. The sub move, no, that you can use there is referring to data, no, in tables or charts. Kaya may mga kasama doon sa paragraph mo ng results, no? For example, figure 1 compares the results obtained from the preliminary analysis of X. O kaya naman, another sub-move is that you can emphasize significant data trends in the table or chart. And basically, you already did this when interpreting your tables and charts. Di ba? So makikita niyo you give emphasis, no, on the significant data trends that can be seen on the table. For example, figure 10 demonstrates a clear trend of decreasing or increasing, o kaya sometimes you emphasize the highest, you emphasize the lowest, di ba? Those trends that can be highlighted, no, na may significance doon sa iyong findings. Another move that you can use, no, in order to explain, no, the results of your study is evaluating results. What do you mean by that? No, you can use 3 moves in writing your results. First is stating a positive result. Like for example, strong evidence of X was found when, di ba? That's a positive example. No? There is correlation between, there is significant difference between variable A and variable B, for example. You can also state a negative result. If the result of your study is really negative, then you have no choice but to state it. For example, there was no evidence that X has an influence over, okay, there is no correlation between the variables. There is no significant difference between the variables. And also, the third one is you can also highlight the interesting or surprising results of your study. Ibig sabihin, these are the unexpected. When you say interesting or surprising, these are the results that you did not expect to come out from your study. Why are you not expecting it? Because when you review the related literature, walang ibang authors na ganun yung finding. Di ba, that will be surprising because in the literature, wala naman siya, but in the result of your study, no, lumabas siya. You nakuha. So wala pang ano diyan, no? Wala ka pang commentary on why do you think, no? It resulted like that because here in results you are still just presenting the results of your study. Okay. Another move is reporting survey and interview findings. Eto kapag ka ang iyong research, the nature of your research is in a survey form. A move that can be used is reporting response rates. For example, no, respondents were asked to indicate whether or reporting proportions such as 70% of those who were interviewed indicated that, no, usually sa ano to, sa survey talaga, reporting theme. Another reported problem was, no, reporting participant views, no, or one interviewed argued that, again, ito ginagamit to if your research, no, was a survey. Okay, it is very important also that when presenting not only your results and discussion but also your introduction, you should be seamlessly moving from one theme to another theme. Now, in terms of the results, since we're talking about the results here, you should also move seamlessly from one result to another. Like for example, how do you do that? No? How do you combine, no? Or how do you transition, no? From one result to another is, no? For example, sa letter A, comparing the two results, it can be seen that, so dalawang results na agad yung na-describe mo dyan. Di ba? Before that statements. Or you can also summarize the results of your section or the result section. Like for example, overall, the experiments show that. Okay? Another move that you can use in writing your results and discussion is providing background information. Such as, for example, you can reference to the literature or you can reference to the question. When you say reference to the question, it pertains to your research question. It pertains to your statement of the problem. Ibig sabihin, for example, with respect to the first research question or with respect to the first statement of the problem, di ba your statement of the problem are stated in questions? So you are actually presenting the answer to your questions here. With respect to the first research question, it was found out that. Di ba? Okay? So you are just composing, a sentence or a paragraph, that will answer your statement of the problem. Kasi dito hindi mo na pwedeng enumerate yung statement of the problem mo in an itemized form. You should be presenting it in a paragraph form. Now, another move that you can use is restating, comparing, and explaining results. Some moves that can be used is summarizing results, supporting previous findings, contradicting previous findings, indicating unexpected outcomes, and offering an explanation to the findings. Okay? Kaya makita nyo, dito, ano na yan eh, doon na yan sa may section ng discussion. Kaya you're already offering an explanation for the findings. So, meron ka kagad dito. Kita nyo, letter E to letter E. The discrepancy could be attributed to. So, ibig sabihin, you are already offering an explanation as to why do you think the result of your study was like that. Okay? No? So, dito rin, yung result of your study, is being supported by the previous authors. For example, this finding is consistent with that of Doe et al. In 2000. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, you will have to look at your review of related literature in the chapter 2, of your thesis.